Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lin Trin. Hello and welcome to episode 217 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is commitment levels. Now, I want to welcome you back to this episode, and I wanted to thank you for just the support, the outreach lately, just because I've had so many people message me from the podcast saying how much it's helped, how much clarity they've gained, how it's different and how it's real. And most importantly, the thing that I wanted to express this year in 2018 was just what it really takes to grow a successful coaching company and build a business, build a movement that you care about, build a movement that you're passionate about, but most importantly, speak the truth. And I want to talk about commitment, because inside of the game of commitment, it's going to require you to understand your own commitment levels. How committed are you to achieving the results that you want to achieve inside of your business, inside of your life? But most importantly, if you're going to go out there and help people, you need to understand that commitment is the number one driver that's going to help your clients achieve success. And without commitment, it's funny. You know, everybody can talk a good game. I used to talk a massive game of commitment, like saying, yep, I want to do this. And I would talk, I was a big talker in the early days. And it was frustrating because a lot of the times I'd say, I want to do this. These are all the goals that I have. I want to make $1 million by the time I'm, 25, etc. And I was talking such a big game, and I was almost like posturing, right? I'd almost have this fear of wanting to look good around people, because when I was young, I grew up and, everything was about how good you looked. When I was growing up in a family of 6 kids, my parents are Vietnamese and they came to Australia by boat. They wanted us to be successful. They wanted to educate us. They wanted to, us to have a good job, be well respected. But most importantly, it was all about face. And this is what I discovered about myself. And this is what I discovered a lot about my family, my dad, my mum being Vietnamese immigrants. It was just really like, how do we look good? And it wasn't really, how do we do the work? And so for a long time, I was chasing this thing of looking good. How do I look good in front of others? How do I look good? How do I appear successful? How do I appear wealthy? And for a long time, I did, because people around me were saying, well, Lin, you're so driven, you have X, Y, and Z. And deep down, I did not feel successful at all. I didn't feel like I had my stuff together. I didn't feel like I had my business operate. I didn't even know what I was doing. And it was only until I discovered commitment that, I then decided I'm going to put this kind of life behind me. I'm going to not talk about stuff anymore. I'm going to do. And, I've gone so far to say that on the other side of, being so scared to be judged, being so scared to put my voice out there, being so scared of face value, of how people perceive me, how good do I look to other people? Right now, it's like I just, speak your truth. And there's something liberating in the truth, because the truth sets you free. I truly believe that everyone on this planet has really great intentions, and they want to do the right thing, and they just want to connect, they want to give, they want to grow, they want to love. And it's in places of scarcity that people don't have that ability to do so. And so when I discovered commitment, it was, how committed am I to achieving the success? I say I want it, but what am I willing to do? What am I willing to give up? Am I willing to put in the effort? Am I willing to put in the work? Am I willing to run through brick walls? Am I willing to invest? I remember at the start, investment in mentors were something that I could never comprehend. I was a smart kid. I'd always find a hack. I'd always, growing up inside and having 6 brothers and sisters around me, 5 brothers and sisters, and being the 6 kids, my parents didn't have a lot of money. So we always had to find a way. We grew up going to the markets. We grew up going to op shops. And I'd always figured out that there had to be a way to save money. And when it came to investing, my very first mindset to investing was, no, I can't invest. Surely I can YouTube that. Surely I can Google that. Surely I can download that somewhere. Surely I can torrent that. And for a long time, that held me back, because the actual gift there, the commitment, that would actually say how much would I value that information, that commitment level, that was the thing that was going to help me achieve the results, wasn't it? Because I didn't invest. And whilst the information might be freely there, the thing that I was lacking was that commitment on my front. And the information was in front of me, but because I wasn't committed, because I didn't invest, I didn't take it seriously. And it's the same thing with our clients, and the same thing with you guys as well listening to this. It's saying if you're so committed and you're so invested to getting results, then you must put that pressure on yourself to make it happen. You must commit. You must get your clients to commit. You and I both know, we can't. One of the worst things that I try to do is help your own family, right? Because they take you for granted. They take your advice for granted. When was the last time you gave fat loss advice or diet advice to your family or training advice and they didn't do it? That was because you gave them the information, but because they weren't committed to it, they didn't actually value it. Therefore, they didn't do it. And so inside of this world of change, we talk a lot about information. What should I give? But rather than thinking about what you should give, you start to think, well, what is the actual person receiving it doing with the information? And the person receiving the information needs to be committed. They need to value it. They need to die by those words. Those words, the information, it is their lifeblood. They are going to literally extract every single piece of value from that information possible. And I think that's when change starts to happen. So, just a little bit of a story background there. But more importantly, if you're thinking about why you're not achieving the results, it simply comes back down to, well, maybe it's due to the commitment levels, that maybe you're getting so much information, but you're not actually committing to any information. You're not actually taking these words as gospel to actually live and do and die by them. And that if you did, I'm going to have you consider that if you did, then your world would begin to change. Your commitment levels will skyrocket. Your implementation would skyrocket. The focus, the clarity that you have will skyrocket. And you won't be scrambling around in this world where everyone's a little bit lost and confused. So that's it from me. I hope that helps you. But more importantly, I know that if you go and implement that with your clients, and you'll begin to see this pattern of human behavior, then it's going to be a fantastic ride and journey where you'll be able to actually help people to actually move away from the deep-seated roots that are holding them back to moving to the possibility where you want to take them. Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.